How different are colleges now? When will the new building, The Hub, be finished at ULM? And will colleges shut down due to COVID again? Well, we talk about all that and more on this episode of The Toddcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Toddcast. As always, I'm your host, Ty McManus, and today is a very special episode because making his return to The Toddcast, he is now a four-time guest here on The Toddcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the director of ULM's Chi Alpha organization, Tyler Gerfers. Tyler, how are you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, Todd.
Well, welcome back.
Good to be here.
It is your fourth time.
Wow.
It is something.
4.
I know. You are actually, a little bit of knowledge, you were in third place of most times appearing on the Toddcast.
Come on.
John is like around 6 or 7 or so, and Jaren's at like 12.
There you go.
So there you go. Great to have you back, of course, here at the lovely ULM, of course. Everybody knows that this is my college and your college as well, you know. So, a little bit of knowledge for all the listeners out there, if they remember, or if they didn't know this, that whenever I started doing the icebreaker questions with guests, you were actually the first one, your last appearance, back in like June or July of last year.
Yeah.
You were the first guest that I ever asked an icebreaker question to. So, I got one for you right now.
Okay.
It's a would you rather question. Would you rather go vegan for a month, for a full 30 days, or only eat meat and dairy for a whole month?
Meat and dairy.
I agree.
Hands down.
Yeah, like, if it was a year, God, if it was a year, can you imagine eating, like, just meat and cheese and that's it?
That sounds great.
For a whole year? I mean, it does, honestly. Like, especially if you don't have to pay for it, too, because, you know,
Right.
some meats can be daggum expensive. You
Yeah,
know?
it's true. It's true. Deli meat's even a little high right now.
Yeah. But, like, if you go vegan for a month, I guess that could be technically more healthy, I guess.
Yeah, it depends how you view it. Yeah.
Depends on what you're going for. Like, that's just more like salads and veggies and fruits and all that. But then for a whole month, you got every type of meat you can get and any type of cheese. You got milk still. And you're not vegan, which full vegan is even like no eggs and all that. So we could throw in eggs in with the meat and dairy, you know. So you could just have, you can still have hamburgers. Well, you can't have vegetables though either. So you can have a burger with just meat and cheese on it, you know.
There you go.
Or throw some bacon on it or whatever,
There
you
you
know.
go.
You can't have your lettuce or your onions or nothing like that, you know.
It'd be all right.
It would be. Look, there's so many different types of meat anyway.
Come on, yeah.
Like, you got your fish, we'll count that, and you got your chicken, your steaks, your burgers, your deer, your pork, you know.
Yeah,
you can like, have 3 different meals every
you
day.
just want to stay active, you know.
Yeah. No, yeah, you just sit around and eat meat and cheese all day.
That might be a problem.
If you did that, I mean, and if you just, like, throw a workout in, you know, like every other day, God, just, like, full-on ripped with the amount of protein just in one, like, 30 days straight.
Yeah.
Like, talk about a meal plan. Like, that's wild, especially if it's just given to you.
That's awesome.
Like, if they just give you 30 days worth of meat and cheese and you just choose, and any dairy products, actually, and you just choose what you want for 30 days.
Oh, man, that's like living the dream.
That is. So, I agree with you. Meat and dairy all the way for a whole month. So, since you've been on 3 past times, this is your 4th time, I want to go ahead and ask you, how have you and your family been during the beginning of this year and the ending of this past year?
Yeah, man, family's good. You know, my girls are 3, 5, and 7 now. And so homeschooling is still going strong with Bethany and the girls. And, you know, it's different, you know. I mean, like, they're all getting older. And so, like, they're getting better at, everything they're doing at home with that, reading, learning to read and talk about things. And they're having fun, they're enjoying the, being at home. One of the things is that, like, they get to enjoy, like, being at home. They go and play in the backyard, they can go on little trips or travel around or whatever. And, and Bethany's really enjoying that too. So family's been good. It has been. It's been a good time.
A lot of mother and daughter's time.
Yes, it is. And then, we get, we tried to, that's why we try to have family nights and do things, and you got to be really intentional with the time, so like it's been a good season. Really has.
And they're getting to that age of being their own kind of person, even though the youngest, like you said, is 3 years old, she's still probably chatting up a storm.
Oh, they're grown. I mean, like they know what they want. They know what's up.
Yeah, they know what they want for dinner now.
That's right.
It's like, I want this, and then want some candy or whatever, Well, that's good. Nobody's had COVID probably, and that's good. No. Going non-COVID strong. Me too, which is wild to say the least.
Yeah,
that I haven't had it. Like, I don't think I've even been exposed. When you think about it, like, you don't know, anybody could have it. Like, I could have it right now, you know what I'm saying? I don't, but
I hope not.
I hope not either. But when you think about it, like, I don't think I could have been, I mean, during the week before Thanksgiving last year, I went to LSU with some friends, and we watched the LSU ULM football game when ULM was down there, And man, that place is huge. You've been in the stadium?
I've not been. I've been around the stadium.
Yeah,
but I've been in the stadium.
We went in there because we watched the game, and good Lord, it wasn't even full. And I was like, man, this is a lot of people. And like, because I've been in AT&T Stadium in Dallas, and it is huge.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's Cowboy Stadium, and it can hold up to like over 100,000 people.
Yeah, you can fit 2 Monroes in there. It's like,
it's like, and just the thought of it, like, and when you think about it, like you just said, when you think about the amount of people, if you get them all in one room, it's like a lot, like with ULM, guessing around like 7,000 to 8,000 students are usually enrolled here. That's double the amount of population in my hometown. So going that much into like a stadium in basically one giant room, it is wild. It was loud, and then a lot of people left at halftime because that's what happens. And
that's right.
ULM didn't win, but it was okay. You know what I'm saying? So
right. They did good.
They did do good. They held their own, but I think LSU also has not been that good this year. Right. But they got a new coach, of course, Joe Burrow, in the NFL now, of course, with the Bengals.
Right.
But they'll be better, And ULM, hopefully, they'll get there one day.
I'm hoping that Joe Burrow and the Bengals beat the Chiefs in the playoffs here coming
and
up.
Go all the way.
I mean, I just hope. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be good. I think they want it, man. They're hungry.
Yeah, and Joe Burrow is so good at, like, I haven't been watching much football, but when I do, a lot of the games I have been watching were they're either Tom Brady and the Buccaneers against somebody, or Joe Burrow and the Bengals against somebody.
Well, Tom Brady's out now, so you can just look at Joe.
But yeah, true. But Joe, he's really good at such a young age, because every time he plays a game, the commentators will always say, oh, Joe Burrow set a new record that hasn't been broken since Tom Brady was 10, 15 years ago, And so when they're already comparing him to like a young Tom Brady.
Wow.
And saying that is just
I really didn't know that.
A compliment to him, because of just what he does, and which, I mean, he was great at LSU. I mean, they won the national championship when he was there.
That's right.
And then he graduated and went over up to the Bengals. But now, like, him being as good as he is and as young as he is, because a lot of people, like even myself, hope one day at the Super Bowl we'll get Joe Burrow on whatever team he is at that time against Tom Brady's team, if it can happen, you know what I'm saying? And if that can happen at the Super Bowl, I think a lot of people It'll be a great game
Yeah.
to see Brady against Burrow, basically.
If Brady don't retire.
True, which he's got to fill up both hands with Super Bowl rings. So, but with all that out of the way, going back here to ULM, how has Chi Alpha been during this past fall semester and currently going into the spring semester?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. You know, there was a lot of things that we weren't really sure about as far as ULM and COVID restrictions and like how campus life was going to be, and so it's progressively gotten better even from the previous year. But this fall, we still, you know, we were trying to be a good team player for the university and not just do our own thing and not, you know, care about consequences. You know, so we were trying to, you know, honor authority and be a part of what was going on. And so I think we did that in a lot of ways. You know, we were involved from the get-go, from when students showed up till all the way to the end of the semester. And I think Chi Alpha has done well, like considering everything. You know, I mean, our numbers for numbers' sake are down a little bit, but you know, I feel like we're healthy. I feel like students are reaching out to other students on campus, and they're excited, you know, to do life together and to like continue to, you know, make it mean something to be, you know, a Warhawk on campus, and to, you know, do more than just, you know, your classwork, but to like make real good friends and to have good fun and just, you know, get involved. I mean, I think a lot of ours are still, even right now, I mean, even, you know, honestly, like coming off the fall, and now we're in 2022, like people are still trying to do that same thing, you know. So I think we're in a good place. We're learning a lot, you know, and we have learned and grown a lot in different ways. But I think that overall we're moving in the right direction. I really feel like that.
That's good. Chi Alpha staying strong.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
And I feel like, which honestly, like, you know, like in the fall semester, whenever it's August and it starts, that's usually whenever a really ton of students come in, you know, new freshmen, like thousands of them, really. But there's not many that come in spring semester. Like you just don't start unless you like transfer. But right. That's very like minute amount compared to the spring freshmen, you know.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure about this, but it seems like there's more students in the spring right now that have gone more towards online with their classes, or they're just not here, because it just doesn't seem like there's as many students out and about and around like there were.
Yeah.
And I could be dead wrong on that, but that's just from what I see. That's what it's been looking like to me over the last few weeks since we've come back.
Yeah, like, I mean, they could have done what I did, because like whenever COVID happened, we all went online no matter what. But once it was coming back, I was already had decided that I'll stay all online, you know.
Right.
And so, which I wanted to ask you about with Chi Alpha, you know. Y'all had a conference not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, called SALT. Now, can you, all the people out there that are listening that may not know what this is, could you like briefly explain it to them, and then how was y'all's experience at this past conference?
Yeah. So SALT is our winter conference over New Year's, and essentially it's for all the Chi Alphas in what they call the South Central region, which would be Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. And then we actually have some from Mississippi that come. And so all the Chi Alphas are invited. We have it over in Dallas. And
in a big place too.
Yeah. We're back. We changed hotels just for a couple years there, but we're at the Sheraton, downtown Dallas. Pretty big hotel. Been there for a long time. Had some renovations, so it's even nicer than it was last time we were there. And we have it's about 2,000 people that are there at our conference. That's so good. It's, you know, it's a decent number. There's about 15 of us from ULM, so we, you know, again, you know, decent number. And so what we do is we go to this conference. There's guest speakers that share, you know, they have different services, and then there's these workshops that students go to, and they can pick which ones they want to go to, and things to help them learn how to grow in their faith and how to be a leader on campus, how to be more missional in everything they do. So it's really kind of a leadership caliber kind of conference, but also expose a lot of students to missions and to just people maybe they're new in their faith, kind of helps them, grow in their faith and different things. And so it's it's a great time, man. Like it's a powerful time, and it's a great way, honestly, to start the new year. I mean, that's one of the best things about it.
Because I've never been to one, but seeing the videos, because I remember like every time in the past couple of years since I've been at ULM since fall of 2018 now, which makes me feel old, because I remember whenever you remember something vividly from 4 years ago, it makes me feel old, because like it's been almost 4 years since, it's been almost 4 years now since I graduated high school, which is also weird. But I remember like people that I know being there and sending like a video, and then like some of y'all will post it or share a video of the big clock of the New Year's countdown to midnight of January 1st, and that's always just funny to watch, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's probably a whole heck of a lot better to be in that room celebrating New Year's there than it is being in Times Square, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Getting trampled on in New York, God, it's gotta be terrible too to be there. But being at SALT, it's definitely good from what I've seen and from what people have told me, that being a good experience. And if anybody wants to go next year, because it's just every New Year, it's just the yearly annual event.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go, you can go to the ULM Chi Alpha page on Facebook or Instagram. Try to get in touch with Tyler Gerfers if you want to go, or anybody or if you're not even go to ULM, go to any college and you have a Chi Alpha organization, you can talk to the person in charge and they'll let you know about it. It's really early to know you want to go to the next event.
Hey man, yeah.
Almost a whole year later, but if you want to,
put it on your calendar.
Yeah, just be prepared for the next 300 days or so. So I wanted to ask this question because I've always wondered this ever since coming to college, with like the Chi Alpha organization and all these other religious organizations at ULM or any other college, but you can speak on personal experience here. Has there ever been, like especially in the August time when the fall semester begins and there's like 1,000 more students coming in, has there ever been any type of like unspoken or even spoken like competition between the organizations, that some of them might be low on members, some of them might be medium-sized, because I know it's all in, everybody's got the right mind, and you just want more, you would like more people to believe in what you believe in and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But is there ever like this unspoken competition that some, you know what I'm saying, that some organizations have, like, well, maybe we can get more members than this other organization can by getting people to come.
Right.
Come to our meetings, come eat our food, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Now, let me ask you this just to clarify. Are you talking about just among the religious organizations or all organizations?
Oh, we can do both.
Okay. Well, like, so one thing, for us, for example, we're Chi Alpha, we're part of a national organization.
Yeah.
We're on universities all over the country and all over the world as a student ministry. And so, a lot of times people ask us, like, are we in Greek life? And we have to explain, no, we're not in Greek life.
You're not a frat.
Right. And we say it this way, that we don't compete with Greek life. We try to complement Greek life.
Yeah.
In other words, we welcome any and every student. And for someone that may be in a fraternity or sorority, like, man, we welcome them and would hope that maybe we could be like their ministry or their community of faith on campus, and even work together with them. So we try to make it, that people understand and make a distinction that, we're not, just by the nature of our name, Chi Alpha, it's Christ ambassadors is where it comes from. But then when it comes to like, say, like other religious organizations, it's not competition the reality is that there's thousands of students all over campus that don't get plugged into a ministry or organization on campus. And so we just say like this, man, like there's thousands of students, and so like there's plenty of opportunity to reach students. And like I've actually personally said this to some students, that like I would rather them commit to, you know, like this other organization, if that's really what they want to do and where they want to be, than try to balance, you know, two of them, you know, especially if it's like two religious organizations. You know, I've encouraged and affirmed somebody. I said, look, I'd love to have you here, but man, dude, like don't feel bad if your heart is to be here or to be over there, and that, like,
yeah,
you're much better off. And I say it this way, that if you want to get the most out of what you're doing, then you've got to put the most into it. So like, man, if you have 1 foot in one area and 1 foot in another, and there's this kind of, you know, back and forth, and like you're not giving your best or being your best for those people, just, you know, or the other way.
Yeah.
So from that angle, yeah, we try to, you know, we have this common interest of like, yeah, all of us as ministries want to see students, you know, specifically Christian ministries, like we want to see students come to know the Lord. We want students to have a real relationship with Jesus and know Him and experience that. And so there's thousands of students. And then other organizations in general, yeah, man, we try to find ways to collaborate with them and work with them. And we do that with other ministries. We collaborate, you know, but if you're not a religious ministry, then it's kind of different in a way. So we find ways to support them and help them. And again, there are thousands of students, you know, and so like, and there's plenty of them that stay the whole year never getting involved.
Yeah.
They never commit to a community. They never commit to anything other than their schoolwork, you know, or maybe some hobbies they have, you know, and that's unfortunate, because you would want students to live life together with other people and have a great experience on campus with other people. Because we just believe that's the way you're meant to do things. It's the way that God created us to be, is in community. And so, yeah, that's kind of how we approach all that.
You said that really a lot better than I was thinking. Because I don't know. I always thought that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely some organizations throughout all the colleges and just like probably in this state, honestly, that will definitely be like, we've got to have more members than any other. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I think definitely like some organization leaders will get like greedy with, we need more members. Right. That way we can have the biggest events. We get the most amount of money. We'll get the most amount of being recognized the most at our college. Right. Be the number one. Like, you want to come to ULM, you join this organization. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Well, and I think there is some merit in that. I would say this for us in Chi Alpha, we have a much higher cause and higher calling than just to be popular.
Yeah.
So like for us, you know, we would say we're much more concerned about someone's soul and like who they are as a person and who they're becoming and like their walk in life with friends and real community and you know, like their journey of faith, you know, and like what that looks like. And so we're way more concerned about the whole person. So like for us, you know, we would rather, you know, and we just simply talk about it in terms of discipleship. Like we would rather have someone that's going to get involved and get further involved than someone who just wants to come and show up and just be around.
Yeah.
Like we would rather that, because, you know, we tell people, you know, that like we're not helping you at all if we're just saying, hey, I just want you to show up and show us your face and just be in it so we can count you on the roster. Like I would I would rather know that like you're experiencing growth and life change and like things are happening and we can serve you and get you in a position to serve and to give back and so there, I mean, so for us, I mean, because ultimately, you know, that's what that's what we exist for, is, you know, the Great Commission to make disciples who make disciples and to reach ULM, to reach the world. And so like for us, we just believe that, you know, in a way, what we do is unpopular to some people.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because that's not what we're trying to do. But I think it does mean something, though. It's like what we do ought to be attractive. You know, the things that we do ought to be attractive to students on campus, because students want to make friends. They want to have something real and be a part of it. And I think that we have that.
really choosing quality over quantity, you know, because like you would like to have 100+ people probably and have this big gigantic room full of people, you know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if only 10 people are getting something out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are the other 90 people here if you're just here to be here? Like you said, you need to get something out of it when you go somewhere, you know.
That's right.
Just don't
That's
go
right.
to kill time or whatever.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
But I had to ask you that because I always wondered that.
That was good.
So, moving over a little bit more into the ULM conversation, they are currently in construction of the hub.
Yeah.
We talked about it last time.
Yeah,
we did. We talked because they just announced it like the last time we talked, and you were on the third time. They announced it like the week before that they were going to build this new building called the hub, and now it is not here, but in construction, and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is.
So what's your thoughts on the hub?
Yeah, you know, I mean, first of all, they're moving pretty good on it, you know,
Yeah.
and they're really making some progress. And so, I think it's supposed to be up and running by next fall, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what they said on that Facebook post when they announced it, was like July or August of 2022, which is this year. So just another 6 months and they'll be done probably.
Yeah, so that'll be good if they do that, you know, and but yeah, you know, I mean, I hope that it's, you know, it really does serve as a hub for campus, you know, where students can come and congregate, because, you know, that's one thing that's been lacking, you know, for us, is that like we don't like it. We have the sub, we have Starbucks and the library. That's really the only three places that students can actually congregate and like hang out, unless it's outside. But the hub, I'm hoping with the food places that they're offering in there, and then like I don't know the full layout, you know, but I'm hoping that it does kind of create some more space for students to be able to hang out and like kind of serve as like a place of community, and you know, people can like leisurely, you know, be in and out of there, and, you know, and meet up and do stuff, you know. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I think it'd be good. I think it's a good location, you being right there next to Sandal Hall, and then just, you know, just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the sub, and everything. So yeah, I'm excited.
I am too, honestly. Like, I'm gonna be probably graduated by that point anyway, but still, like I'll have to just come back to see it in person, you know, because pictures ain't gonna do it justice to actually see it, because like they showed in like them floor plan or that mock-up drawing that they had of it, you know, that it's gonna be a bunch of tables out in the main area, and then like all the food places, and then there's going to be an upstairs that's just open, you know, and that's where all the main part of the tables and seats and everything are going to be up there. So I think it's going to be really good, and it's going to work out. I think it's going to work out. And like we talked about it before, like the sub is going to go way down in popularity at that point, you know. And I remember because we talked about Bayou Point, that we all thought that Bayou Point was going to be the hub when they were building it, whenever it was starting. But then it's kind of like Bayou Point's just like a conference hall, kind of.
Yeah,
it? Like,
yeah.
that's just what it is.
Right.
Because I know other high schools have actually had their homecoming and proms there. So it's like, it's good to bring in other schools to have a good place, a big place too, to have whatever they want. But when you think about it, it's like, we were hoping it was something something else, you know. But that's what we're getting. But that's what we're getting with the hub, and I'll have to ask Dr. Berry what's next after the hub.
There you
go. See what we're going to do next. So, going to talk about a little bit about COVID real quick, is that it's really been surging as of late. There's really been a lot of cases coming up. There have been people that I have talked to that have gotten it but never had it before. That a lot of people are getting their first time having COVID. I've never had it, like we said earlier. I haven't. You and your family haven't.
Right.
None of my family has that either, which is good. But it's real. A lot of people have been getting it. Some people have been hospitalized with it, of course, and then some people, like, I don't feel anything, but they tested positive with it. So, in your opinion, basically, starting the semester and going through with it, do you think ULM could go virtual again this semester with how things are looking right now?
Honestly, I don't think they will. I don't think they'll have to either. Granted, like you said, like there's been kind of like this wild spread, of everything. But at the same time, I really believe that there's kind of this idea that, man, if we kind of stick it out and make it through January, which we're just about there, that people are going to start getting better, and not even that it just be COVID. I mean, there's people that are getting sick with other things.
Yeah.
Like flu is a thing right now, that they're testing people for. And so it's not just COVID anymore. So it's like, hey, we're in the winter months, people get sick, things happen, like take care of yourself. And honestly, on top of that, because there was such a struggle between professors and students and just the university when we were virtual, I think ULM is thinking, man, like let's just keep moving forward, unless we have something drastic that takes place on our campus or with our students. Let's not overreach and pull the plug and try to go virtual. I think that they'll continue what they're doing, and even I think it'll swing the other way, where hopefully it opens up even more and more as the spring comes in and everything keeps going. So
I think, I'm with you, honestly. Like, I think that they're not going to go, we're all virtual now. They're not going to go that, because
right.
we kind of figured out what we needed to do throughout the entirety of last year. We got that settled, that like some teachers were doing, like, okay, I'm dividing the class in half. Half of it's going to be virtual on Tuesdays. The other half is virtual on Thursdays. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, that way you're only in there once a week. You ain't got to really be around much people. I know the VCOM school, they're currently virtual right now. But what they do whenever they start back on like a new semester, or I think they call it a new block, whenever they start back, the first like week or two of their block, everybody's virtual, because it's like they're like, we assume everybody was around people, and they're like, we don't want anybody to have COVID and not know it, So they're like, so for the first 2 weeks, we want you to do your schoolwork and quarantine yourself. That way we all can come back and learn after the first week or two of doing that, which is a good idea on their part, And it is a lot of work, so you kind of just quarantine because it's med school, so it is a lot of work anyway. So, but I wanted to ask you this, that if COVID picks up a lot more with this surge and more people, we start finding out more and more people get it at ULM, do you think Chi Alpha will go virtual again? Or if ULM gets to that point where you can't have big gatherings at the college anymore, would y'all like go virtual or like meet somewhere else if y'all had to?
I mean, we're gonna do whatever the university allows us to do. So like if they say, hey, we're gonna shut down all student activities, and if you're gonna have stuff that has to be online, then we would do like we did before. But if they're kind of giving us the option, we're gonna stay in person. Like, we're not going. We definitely wouldn't. We wouldn't. If we have an option, we're going to stay in person. Now, we may do some other things to help people continue to stay involved, and because if they really want to, and but they want to do a virtual option, I think then we'll come up with some things to do for students to stay involved virtually, if you want to call it that. But we're going to fight as hard as we can to stay in person, because personally, I think looking at the landscape of everything, the best phrase I can come up with as far as choosing to go virtual is that it's just not worth it. But it is totally worth it if you can make it work to stay in person. That's what I've seen over the last 2 years. and from a lot of different people, organizations, churches, organizations on campus. I mean, you name it, businesses. I mean, if you can do it in person, do it.
Yeah. Because I remember whenever everything went virtual and y'all had to go virtual. And I was just wondering, because ULM can do that any day, literally. Like, we're not, you can't have more than 5 or a few students in one small room, depending on the size.
Correct.
And if they were to do that, then ULM says you can't meet here on the campus. Like, you got other places if y'all wanted to. Like, if y'all have, like, each other's apartments, with other students.
Right.
If you had like small gatherings, like at your house, for example, or anybody else's house, because I thought of that, because it's like, if they had to go all virtual again, hypothetically, and we've already been, almost 2 years dealing with COVID,
right,
we kind of know our own limits and restrictions of that, of our personal selves,
That's right.
So it's like, we could have a meeting and have people like over at this guy's apartment, but if you don't want to come, you don't have to. We'll get like a computer and do a Zoom call with however many people don't want to show up, and then everybody else like a what's it called? Like a hybrid type meeting, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got a computer with people virtually who rather stay home and not be with other people because of COVID, and we got people in the room who are okay with being with other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I was wondering about that in case it does happen again, But hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we all are able to do our own thing 6 feet apart or whatever. Wear your masks if you feel like you're going to get COVID or don't want to give it to somebody else, And if you have COVID, stay home. That's just the best option. You know what I'm saying? So with all of that, basically to go ahead and wrap this up in this episode, is there anything that you'd like to say to any student that may be listening, or somebody currently at ULM, or anything like that? If there's somebody listening out there and they're considering getting involved in an organization, is there anything you'd like to say to anybody out there?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, ULM students, Warhawks, like, it's never too late to get involved with an organization on campus. I know Chi Alpha, we're one of many, but the things that we stand for are helping people have real devotion, help people have real fellowship and community, and help people take real responsibility and growing as young men and women. And so, like, we just believe that, we're a place where you can belong. And man, like, I encourage people to check us out, ULMXA on Instagram or any other social media platform, and come check us out. We've got life groups for people that want to have some small group community. And then on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock, Student Center 170, we have Thursday Night Live, or we call it TNL for short. Come out. And I just challenge people, like, it's never too late. And also that, like, for some people, it's just a matter of, this is something that it's not going to hurt me. And it's worth trying. It's worth coming out and taking a risk. And I believe that that's what some people probably aren't doing. It sounds kind of countercultural right now, using the word risk with COVID. But I would just say in life, there's way more people that look back and wish they would have taken more risks than what they did, especially to better themselves. And I would just say it's very low risk to come out and check us out, and but the reward could be incredible if you give it a chance. So come see us, and it's never too late to get involved, and let's have a great spring 2022.
Like he just said, if you want to get involved, check out ULMXA on Instagram and any other social media platform. If you are a ULM student and stay here or off campus and you want to check out any organization, right. If you want to just test the field, and go one week, go to the other next week, you know what I'm saying? Just dip a finger, in each organization, test out the waters, if you will, If you want to do that, check them out. I've experienced firsthand for a couple of years. I know if you want to ask me, I mean, you can if you want to. But if you if you definitely have been on campus for at least a couple weeks and you've walked around, you've probably most likely seen a Chi Alpha sign or Tyler himself walking around. So he might have shook your hand and talked to you or whatever. So you probably definitely know him, or unless you just know the myth of Tyler Gurfers, just the legend that goes around. So if you want to get involved, check it out, and Tyler, I think that's going to do it for this episode.
Awesome.
So,
thanks, Todd.
Thank you for joining me today, and you'll probably join me in the future. So thank you for being here. As always, please rate and subscribe. And if you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded. And make sure you follow the Toddcast only on Instagram at _Toddcast_ for all your Toddcast social media needs. Make sure you tell your friends and your family, or anybody really, to give it a listen. And thank all of you for listening to this episode. And if you want to know what's going to happen next week, well, I guess you're just going to have to tune in to find out. Only on the Toddcast.